The United States Forest Service is trying to restore a natural habitat.
And a state park highlights the accomplishments of a special group of soldiers. Good evening and welcome to NAZ Today. I'm community anchor Audrey Nagel.
And I'm student anchor Adrian Garola. Thanks for joining us. Debate and discussion continues to rage in the face of a bill that Arizona senators voted on this Wednesday. SB 1062, some may argue, may allow businesses, corporations, and/or individuals to discriminate based on sincerely held religious beliefs.
The bill underlines the right of people and groups, that includes businesses and corporations, to act because of their religious beliefs. This begins a conversation about the rights to freedom of religion and expression.
Now, could a restaurant owner refuse service to an LGBTQ individual? Does this bill open the door for discrimination, or does it underline the rights of religious individuals? Senators voted in the bill to 17 to 13, sending it to the House for further deliberation. The Buffalo Soldiers are a significant part of American military history. Their story, however, is one that often goes unnoticed. Well, Fort Verde State Historic Park made efforts to change that by recognizing these men in a day-long event honoring their story. NAZ Today's Amani Payne had a chance to talk with some of these troops to learn why the Buffalo Soldiers should still be celebrated today.
Patriotism, honor, and courage, all words associated with the Buffalo Soldiers. However, if you were to ask a group of kids about their legacy today, you'd be surprised to learn that many have never heard of them. Do you know who the Buffalo Soldiers were?
No, I actually don't.
Do you know who the Buffalo Soldiers were?
No,
You have no idea.
I really don't.
They're sometimes called America's forgotten military heroes. The Buffalo Soldiers were among some of the nation's first park rangers, even serving on these very grounds here at Fort Verde State Historic Park as early as 1885. Many visitors to the park, however, are unaware by the role played by these troops.
We take great pride in bringing our stories to the public because they don't know about us. So once they find out what we did or what we're about, they get a new outlook on how the West was won, and it wasn't won with John Wayne.
They are among a rapidly shrinking group of veterans whose contribution to the American military is an often overlooked chapter in history.
But we don't know about the history of the military, the black contributions that the military men made, and the sacrifices that they gave in settling this country and doing the things that they did. But it's being overlooked and omitted from the American history book.
And I learned pretty quickly just what some of those sacrifices were. Now, to give you an idea of what the Buffalo Soldiers were working with, while on patrol they had to carry this ammunition belt, pistol, and knife. Now, this is all about 12 pounds. We also have the repeating rifle, which is anywhere from 8 to 10 pounds, plus you have the weight of the water. Now, this isn't even all the equipment. This is just what I could carry. Now, while they were on patrol, they had to come home to a canvas tent as their roof at night. Despite carrying excessive weight, the harsh living conditions, and fighting for a country who at the time did not view them as equal to their white counterparts, a real living Buffalo Soldier tells me he was proud to cement his place in America's military history.
I joined the 24th Infantry in 1945 in the Philippines. I served on Okinawa, Hiroshima, and the occupation of Japan. I was in the 24th Infantry when we became the first black infantry integrated into a white division. That division was the 25th Infantry Division.
These men stress why it's important now, more than ever, that today's youth understand and appreciate these soldiers' lasting legacy.
I think if the children of the day knew of the history of their ancestors, they wouldn't be running around here carrying 9mm and guns. They'd be walking around here with their chest pokes out.
The legend of the Buffalo Soldiers needs to be kept alive. As you probably know, black history has not been taught in schools. So consequently, somebody has to tell the story of the Buffalo Soldier. And we do it to keep it alive so that people know that they were black troops in the Southwest who helped settle this country, this part of the country.
These men hope that by revisiting the history of the troops and celebrating their story, it will help to keep the Buffalo Soldiers on our memories' front lines. Imani Payne, NAZ Today.
For those who are familiar with Cave Springs Campground Road, the United States Forest Service is asking for public comments on a project to restore natural habitat. They hope to stabilize parts of Oak Creek to a more natural configuration. The area for the proposed project restoration is adjacent to Cave Springs Campground Road and susceptible to collapse. The section of the bank in the proposed project was stabilized in 1996. However, if further action is not taken to realign the bank, Cave Creek Campground Road will be threatened. The proposal involves creating a stable form for the stream bank while protecting the special rivering habitat. If you would like to submit a comment for the project, you can visit our website at naztoday.com.
To Lowell Observatory.
And kids in Flagstaff look to get active by learning the importance of exercise.
All right, good evening, everybody. We had a little bit of a cold front move through overnight last night, chilliest day across the state in a couple of weeks. And here what we've put on the map is a 24-hour high temperature change from where we were yesterday. And we're seeing some big high temperature changes, mainly north of the Mogollon Rim. 12 degrees cooler in Flagstaff today versus yesterday. 18 degrees cooler in Page, 21 degrees cooler down in Winslow. Then you get south of the Mogollon Rim, and we're just in that like 5 to 10 degree cooler range. We're going to talk about the warm up in store coming right up in the forecast.
Hi, I'm Terry Markson. As seasons change, so does the inventory at Terry Markson Chevrolet Cadillac. To make room for the 2014 models, we're clearing the lot, and that means great deals for you on our 2013s. Right now, you'll find rebates up to $10,000 on select Chevrolet models. Choose from a full line of vehicles, including the totally redesigned 2014 Silverado 1500. You can always count on our same relaxed, no-pressure environment. Terry Markson Chevrolet Cadillac, real hometown value.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
Welcome back. On Pluto's birthday week, Lowell Observatory received an extraordinary gift. Astronomer Kevin Kirby was awarded a 5-year, $630,000 grant to continue his research. The award comes from the National Science Foundation's career program. COVI investigates young star clusters while engaging citizen scientists. This is important because it melds research and outreach together.
The grant is through a program called the Career Program at NSF, where the idea is to give young researchers the funding and the support they need to start ambitious new research directions. Data that is being collected by the Sloan Digital Sky Survey for this project is so rich that the team is currently overloaded. And so this grant will allow a newly minted PhD and also a graduate student, a master's student at NAU to help join the team and increase the amount of research we can do with the data that's already being collected. In astronomy, we're right now person power limited, and so if we can connect people with energy with data, then we're going to produce more science. That's the goal.
An agreement between the Coconino County deputies and the Navajo Nation Police has been approved for the Coconino deputies to enforce tribal, criminal, and traffic laws at the Twin Arrows Casino. The Navajo Nation Police will be the primary law enforcement, with Coconino deputies as backup. The Coconino Sheriff have never legally been allowed to intervene on their own during a crime on their land. These deputies will have to complete 16 hours of training under the Navajo Nation's laws in order to receive a mutual law enforcement certification card.
On the other side of the political spectrum, one university is looking ahead and predicting who could win the 2016 presidential election. NAZ's Alexa Vagnozzi has more.
If Hillary Clinton were to run for president in 2016, she would take Ohio. At least, that's what a new Quinnipiac University poll suggests. The poll found the Democrat easily beat several Republican opponents in the poll and hypothetical matchups. According to the survey, Clinton leads several GOP leaders by double digits in the key battleground state, including New Jersey Governor Chris Christie and Senators Marco Rubio, Ted Cruz, and Rand Paul. Of the Ohio voters polled, 55% said Clinton would make a good president. 39% said she would not. Ohio has voted for the winning presidential candidate in each election since 1964. For NAZ Today, I'm Alexa Vagnozzi.
This is a story about hope and redemption. At 14 clubhouses across the country, young people are turning their lives around with fitness. Now, Steve's Club comes to Flagstaff and has opened its doors to improve the lives of youth and develop tomorrow's leaders.
So I was like, awesome. So we did it the first day, I was like, yay. And then the next day I was like, ugh. But then I was like, can I please come back? She's like, sure. So now I'm hopefully doing it for like a while.
Peterson says he wants to continue his fitness training even after he finishes his court commitment. Beyond that, he dreams of becoming a Navy SEAL. Ross says that these kids are the life-changing evidence that the program works.
It changes people. And that's what we want to do for these kids. We want to change them for the better. We want to change the world one kid at a time.
Steve's Club at CrossFit Flagstaff has high hopes of establishing a permanent location in the Sunnyside neighborhood and becoming a real clubhouse, like those others across the nation. For NAZ Today, I'm Kimberly Kraft.
When we come back, find out if those warmer temperatures are here to stay.
And high school basketball teams are heating it up on the court. Find out what the players and the coaches have to say coming up.
Hi, I bought Pepsi Next.
What's Pepsi Next?
It's the latest cola from Pepsi. It's got real cola taste, but 60% less sugar.
Real cola taste, 60% less sugar.
Yeah, I know.
It's unbelievable.
But this is the most impressive thing I've ever experienced in my entire life.
Oh, definitely. Let me get the camera. I've never had anything like it. My parents are gonna.
Yeah, they're gonna be so proud.
Pepsi Next. Drink it to believe it. Since I got adopted, I've learned a lot about these humans.
I know. I mean, check out these two. It's Flirt City over here. I think she's getting his number.
Nice.
Your human's got some sweet moves.
Takes after his dog.
Tonight's NAZ Today weather is brought to you in part by Terry Markson Chevrolet Cadillac in Flagstaff.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
All right, coldest temperatures around here since February the 7th. Weak cold front scooted through the four corners, bringing some colder air into the whole region. It was some Santa Ana wind off of Southern California. Boy, we get spoiled around here talking about it being colder here in February, and we're thinking it is even cold in mid-40s. 48 at the Grand Canyon, Page 51, Winslow 52 today. And down there in Yavapai County, 65, Camp Verde, Sedona 61. Here in Flagstaff, we are 46 degrees, as I mentioned. That's the coolest temperature since February the 7th, and our early morning low at 20 degrees. And here's something a little weird. Both these are right on normal, but it's pretty abnormal to have the high and the low right on the normal temperature. Even though we call it normal, it's more the statistical normal, but it's very unusual to have high temperatures land on the average temperatures. These temperatures are actually the average. So 46-degree average for this time of year means sometimes it's 56, sometimes it's 36, and that's how we get to this average temperature of 46 degrees. But I don't even remember the last time, if I can ever remember, the high and the low temperature landing right on average. But it happened out there today. Okay, so we had that weak cold front that went through. Here we are, Arizona. It went through the Rocky Mountains. It's moving in the Midwest. We'll talk about that one in a second. We look out into the Pacific and not a lot to show. It's high pressure, and what we're going to see over the next several days is a warming trend and just some of this occasional high cloud cover, maybe even some mid-cloud cover over the coming days. Okay, let's take a look at what's happening across the nation. The storm system that did go through the Rocky Mountains, it's already came down and now went right up through the Mississippi River Valley, and we're seeing some big thunderstorms pop off along the southern edge of this thing today. There was 12 tornadoes confirmed in Illinois. On the backside of this storm system, big snowstorm up in the upper Midwest. It's going to be a foot and a half as you get into the UP of Michigan, but it was all rain this time in Chicago. And what's happening is some very warm temperatures behind the storm. The low pressure, or actually, I got it wrong. Cold temperatures behind the storm. Low pressure circulates like this, draws in the cold air behind the storm. In front of the storm, warm temperatures. So when we look at the high temperatures across the region today, 60s and 70s out ahead of the front with some single digits, 10s and 20s pushing in behind the front. Very warm out ahead of it. Here's that pool of cold air that was settled into the Intermountain West today. We switch to temperatures tomorrow. That cold air starts to recede up towards the northern portion of the country. Warm air settles in for us in the southwest, and then that cold air starts to push into the Great Lakes. Chicago today in the 60s, tomorrow probably only in the 20s, and next week the East Coast is in another one of these polar vortexes. Very cold air will be drawn in, and through much of next week we will be very mild through the first half. Looks like some changes towards the second half. So tomorrow through the coming weekend, we're in for a warming trend with those occasional high clouds and high pressure migrating right over the top of us. And what that also means is pollen counts are going to be up, kind of like spring type of allergy stuff going on out there. With the cooler temperatures today, pollen counts were in the medium range, but as we get into Saturday and Sunday and some warmer temperatures, pollen counts will be back up into medium high. Okay, currently outside, it's 40 here in Flagstaff, 43 in Williams, Grand Canyon at 41 degrees. Dew points right now are very dry, single digits to even the negative single digits. What that means is a cold night in store for us tonight. I think you have to go back to February 6th to see some temperatures that got down into the teens here in Flagstaff. Forecasting 17 degrees, so the coldest temperatures we've had around here in quite a while. Okay, for tomorrow, mostly sunny, quite a bit warmer. 46 today, 53 tomorrow, so we'll call it warmer. Sunrise at 7:06. Statewide, everybody will warm up a good 5-8 degrees from where we were today. Sedona 67, Tuba City 57. Winslow 62, and for you in Payson 66 degrees to round out the work week, and temperatures will then just warm a couple of degrees here as we make our way through the weekend and into the early portion of next week. We'll just call it mid-50s for us here in Flagstaff. Occasional cloud cover and overnight lows in the low mid-20s for you down in Sedona. It's mostly sunny the whole way through with high temperatures hovering in the upper 60s right around the 70-degree mark the whole way through. Overnight lows, upper 30s right around 40, and just dry. It does look like we may see a storm towards the end of next week, so that's what I'm keeping my eye on.
I'm actually looking forward to the precipitation because I really want to get up on the mountain.
Right
I'm tired of it feeling like summer.
Yeah, it is decent conditions up there still, but when you're looking from town, it looks kind of grim.
It looks
but it's
sad.
Obviously on the other side, but it's sad. Yeah, I agree.
Well, thanks, Lee. What do we have going on in sports, Jacob?
Well, we got a lot of basketball and an update on the Winter Olympics coming up.
I just got a house full of Suddenlink with an all-new home phone service that can actually do tricks. like send voicemail to email.
It's your mother. Call me.
Automatically, and pop caller ID onto my TV, giving new meaning to call screening. Plus, I got E911 to pinpoint our house and unlimited long distance to flatten our bill. Suddenly, the phone company seems cheesy because Suddenlink just reinvented home phone and made it look easy.
NFC, AFC, offensive linemen, defensive tackles, quarterbacks, and cornerbacks are all working with United Way for a million little reasons. The kids of our communities, to ensure their academic success all the way to graduation day. You see, it takes about 12 years to create a graduate, but it takes the same time to create a dropout. And the difference between a kid becoming one or the other could be a professional athlete, or it could be you. Studies showed the earlier we get to kids, the better their chances. So become a United Way volunteer reader, tutor, or mentor, and make a difference in the life of a child, for the life of that child.
Give. Advocate. Volunteer.
Live united. Join your favorite NFL players. Take the pledge. Go to unitedway.org.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
February is the month for state playoffs, and the Flagstaff girls basketball team is right in the middle of it all. The Lady Eagles faced Apache Junction last night after a missed shot here by Kendall Kelly. Kendall Kelly gets the ball, goes down the court, and has a great pass to Shailene Towie for the and one. Then later in the game, Apache Junction with some great ball movement, and the easy pass leads to an easy layup. Later in the fourth quarter, with just 2 minutes to go, Kendall Kelly hits the go-ahead three for the Eagles, and they win the game 51-47. Senior guard Kendall Kelly put up 22 points for the Lady Eagles as they have a 19-11 record this season and are 9-2 at home. After this win, the Eagles move on to round 2 of the state playoffs. Coach Tyrone Johnson and Kendall Kelly talk about their next game tomorrow against Seton Catholic.
You know, that's a tall task. Seton's #1 for a reason. Perennially, they're one of the best teams in the state, no matter what division. And so, you know, one, we're happy that we got out of the first round and we get opportunity in the second round. But two, we understand the task ahead. And so, you know, we really got to fight and dig and hopefully pull off a miracle.
I think we're a little bit nervous just from the results last time, but I mean, it happened to us against like the Kingman game before. They beat us by 30. We came back and we fought. We came to compete, so I think we can do it with Seton Catholic.
The Flagstaff girls will face the #1 Seton Catholic on the road tomorrow night at 7. The NAU men's basketball team will take on Northern Colorado this evening in the Sky Dome. The Lumberjacks currently have an 11-14 overall record and are 8-6 in the conference. Tip-off is at 6:30, so if you have a chance, head on over to the Sky Dome as the first 800 people through the door will receive free Lumberjack beards. The NAU women's basketball team is on the road tonight taking on North Dakota. The Lady Jacks have an 8-15 overall record and are 5-9 in the conference, while the Bison are #1 in the Big Sky with a 16-8 overall record and are 11-4 in conference. This game started at 6 o'clock. The Phoenix Suns took on the Boston Celtics last night at the U.S. Airways Center, and let's jump right into those highlights now as Marcus Morris gets the ball, takes it down the court, pulls up for a deep three, and splashes it down. He's pumped up about that shot. Later on in the fourth quarter, Ish Smith with a great pass to Green, who throws it down with authority. And staying here in the fourth, the Celtics, great ball movement. Kelly Olynyk for three. Still needs to cut that hair, though. And then Channing Frye says, anything you can do, I can do better, Kelly. And the Suns win 100-94. Now it's time for the Olympic update. The U.S. women's hockey team played Canada today in the gold medal game. The game went into overtime as Canada took the win 3-2 over the U.S. The United States' Maddie Bowman became the first Olympic champion to win the women's halfpipe freestyle skiing. And tomorrow the USA men's hockey team will go up against Canada in the semifinals. Here's a look at the medal count thus far for the Sochi Winter Olympics. The USA has snuck into first place with 25 total medals, with 8 gold, 6 silver, and 11 bronze. They're followed by Russia, who has 23 total medals, the Netherlands with 22, Norway with 21, and Canada rounds out the top 5 with 20 medals. So some exciting stuff with basketball and Olympics, and it's all good entertainment.
Yeah, it's a shame that we couldn't pull off with the hockey win, but at least we're winning in the total gold.
Yeah,
So.
definitely.
Go USA.
We'll be right back.
Want some? It's chamomile. Listen, you are extremely terrifying. Just the scariest undead subhuman thing on TV, and I really mean that. But I am worried that you could give my kids nightmares if they see you, so I'm gonna have to block you. So that's it. Oh, and tell the zombies they're blocked too.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised.
Practice makes perfect. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
All right, welcome back. A little bit of a cold night out there overnight tonight. Forecasting the teens for us in Flagstaff. Warm up tomorrow. We hover in the mid-50s the whole way through this snoozer of a forecast. And for you down in Sedona, very quiet, very sunny, dry weather continues. High temperatures right around 70.
Ireland may be more than 4,000 miles away, but a bit of Irish culture will be making a stop in Flagstaff tomorrow, just in time for St. Paddy's Day. The 6-piece Irish band Full Set is making Northern Arizona a stop on their world tour. Their concert will take place tomorrow night at 7:30 at the Coconino Center for the Arts. Tickets are available at the Olives Wild and will be sold at the door. The band has received critical acclaim across the globe and has appeared on several popular Irish TV programs, including The Late Late Show and This Friday. They'll be dropping in on NAZ Today, so tune in tomorrow for a special studio appearance.
You got their name again? I missed that.
Yeah, their name was...
Putting you on the spot here.
Yeah, I guess we don't have the name, but...
I think it was in there somewhere.
If you
Full
tune
set,
in tomorrow,
maybe.
we'll find out.
Full set.
Yeah,
there
that's
it
what it
was.
was.
Definitely. And make sure to stay tuned for the Northern Colorado and NAU game after this. And that's all the news we have tonight. Have a good night.